adventure, got some Mary in my backpack. Abstracts, thought I got some pen and paper. Fit the whiskey, coke, berry flapjacks. Roll it up and put it to my lips, no need to pass that. So up in summertime, I undermine the underlying fact that I scrape pennies, but I want a dime. She's something else, I got it now. Well, yeah, my dude, she's something fine. And since I got a shot at her, they salty. I tell them suck a lime, I wasn't mine. Now I'm just clowning, trying to scrape a number. Smile after I take it from her. Copacetic today, but in 2 days disintegrate to bummers. I thought I won her over, but I just created blunders. The game I hate and love her. Thinking back to times of playing B because of breaking rubbers. I was a wild child and still extra. All these women still extra. I'm just trying to find an ill chick and a chill spectrum to make my broken heart feel better. Let the ship set sail off to adventure. Got some Mary in my backpack. Abstracts, thought I got some pen and paper. Fit the whiskey, coke, berry flapjacks. Roll it up and put it to my lips, no need to pass that. Let the ship set sail off to adventure. Got some Mary in my backpack. Abstracts, thought I got some pen and paper. Fit the whiskey, coke, berry flapjacks. Roll it up and put it to my lips, no need to pass that. Pass that. Pass that. Pass that. Pass that.
Welcome back. Oh, yeah. It was a beautiful weekend. We ended it off with some beautiful Zuffa boxing. Some fuckery with the belts, but it is what it is. That's the dirty, dirty, dirty game of boxing. But I'm your host, Gaff, and I do this shit every single Monday, every single day of the week, in fact. I give you guys MMA and boxing tips, picks, parlays, tricks, all that shit. And I'm back again on this beautiful Monday, March 9th of 2026 to bring you guys Matchmaker Monday, baby. Oh, yeah. You know what we do. If you don't know what we do, let me break it down for you. On Sundays, we have a live chat breaking down all the things that happened over the combat fight sports weekend. All right? Monday, we matchmake for all the people that fought over the weekend. Mainly UFC, sometimes PFL. It is what it is, whatever provides us with a good set of rankings. Okay? TKO Tuesday, we review the TKOs of the weekend on Tuesday. Pretty self-explanatory, right? Hump Day, we basically finish off the week. Take a look at the grapplers as well, We don't have anything on Thursdays, but that's coming soon. Fridays, we simulate the UFC fights, the boxing fights, whatever fights we have over the weekend using UFC 5 and Undisputed. And Saturday, we provide watch-alongs for all combat sports fights events that's going on. Mainly UFC, PFL, all that. All right? But I'm the host of this here channel. And if you like the content, if you like anything that we provide over here on this YouTube channel, please subscribe to that QR code right there. That will make you part of the family and instantaneously make your life better at the same time. It really will. I promise you. The second you subscribe to this channel, birds start chirping. The sun starts shining. You find a $20 bill in your pocket. Your broken down car just starts out of nowhere. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. You should take part and see how it changes your life. Okay? Also, don't forget to follow on social. One More Round Fights everywhere. One More Round F8 on X, because fuck you, Elon. You little bitch. You have a character limit, and you made me change my name on X. Some bull crap. All right. So it's One More Round F8 on X. We do live tweet for MMA fights. Not really the boxing fights. Sometimes, if that's the only thing going on, but usually MMA fights, PFL, UFC, maybe a one championship here or there. Okay. And then everywhere else, that's where we put out our, parlays and such. And don't forget to follow the Main Card Minute. All right. Catch my man Luke on there. He'll be on he'll be on Morning Combat in just over 45 minutes here. Also, you can catch me on the Main Card Minute, putting belt to ass. All right. Just kicking ass and taking names on Prop Quiz. Okay. And also kicking ass on DraftKings and FanDuel. All right. They catching these hands too. Okay. And just for housekeeping purposes, Main Card Minute on your left. One More Round Fights on your right. Oh, let's bring in the fucking chat. Okay. Wheels Up. Hello, Jets. What up, Wheels Up? How you feeling, brother? Thoughts on the White House card, despite it being the best card of the year? Dana overpromised on it, making the idea of magnificent multi-universe combat moment bizarre. What is the benefit of overpromising? That is a great question. And with that, we'll go into our first topic that we do on Matchmaker Monday. And it's we have to figure out exactly what's already been put in matchmaking purposes. So we have our matchmaking updates. And in the biggest matchmaking news of the weekend, we have the UFC White House card announced. Now, like Wheels Up has said, I wouldn't say it was Dana that overpromised. I would say there are people that have overpromised. Our president of this United States has overpromised on this card, but I wouldn't say Dana overpromised. So, he did say it was going to be one of the biggest cards of the year, which indeed it will be. That is not a lie from Dana. He did say all that, but he wasn't overpromising on title fights and shit like that. That was Donald J. Trump. Okay, so to be fair, let's give Dana that breathing room there. Let's not breathe down his neck. We should be breathing down the guy's neck that's always overpromising, and that's our president. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Matchmaking updates. Here's the card. UFC White House. Headlined by Ilia Topuria, our lightweight champion, and Justin Gaethje, our interim lightweight championship. We will have a unification bout at the top of the UFC White House card. Super excited about that one. In the co-main spot, we have Alex Poatan Pereira taking on Cyril Gane. This is for the interim heavyweight title. Tom Aspinall will remain the heavyweight champion, and it is assumed that he will fight the winner of this bout to unify the championships. Okay. Underneath that, we have Sean O'Malley taking on Amin Zahabi. We have a classic American, classic in today's sense of classic, taking on classic Canadian in today's sense of classic Canadian, Amin Zahabi. So that's going to be a solid fight. Then we have Mauricio Hufi, the Brazilian, taking on American Michael Chandler. Okay. Oh, yeah. Michael Chandler. Dude, don't think Michael Chandler's in an L spot here. He could definitely win this fight. I mean, we've seen Hufi get held down. All right. Michael Chandler, one of the best in it. Hey, Charles Oliveira didn't hold down Michael Chandler like he hold down Max Holloway. That's all I got to say. Michael Chandler got a fighting chance. Iron Mike, let's get it. And then we have Bo Nickel in an absolute stunner spot for him. I mean, the golden boy spot against Kyle Dawkins. I mean, if you told me blank was fighting Kyle Dawkins on the card, I'd be like, oh, whoever's in that spot is in the golden boy spot. It doesn't matter who. Based off the names that I've heard so far, and then you have Kyle Dawkins on the card, I'm going to assume the blank spot is for the person that's supposed to win. I'm keeping it a buck. I'm keeping it a buck, guys. Let's be honest here. Let's keep it real with ourselves. This is absolutely a spot for Bo Nickel to become the guy, to make a name for himself, to become the golden boy, the boy with the golden toe for Doug Funny fans out there. But yeah, it's Bo Nickel's time right there. That's his spot. It might as well just say Bo Nickel versus Dude. Okay. And then Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, I feel like I feel like the Flintstones. I feel like Bam Bam. I want to just fucking grab Bam 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 Bam. That's what we do during this fight because that's all we're gonna hear. That's all we're gonna see. It's gonna be hands throwing. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go out on a limb right now and say not a takedown is. I'm gonna say not a takedown is succeeded. One might be attempted. Somebody might get cracked, and one might get attempted. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no takedowns are succeeded in this fight. All right. And then yeah, other news, Volkov and Waldo Cortez Acosta set for UFC 328. That's May 9th, Prudential Center. Oh yeah, me and Luke will be there. Jersey, dirty Jersey, we out there. Let's go. Let's go. And that's basically all the matchmaking updates. Nothing really crazy. Let me just actually, let me not check on this computer. When I check on this computer, slow shit down. Let me check on this computer. Oh yeah, every time I check on this computer, I'm like, oh shit, look, I'm in stop action animation for some reason. What the fuck's going on? All right, so another fighting news. I don't think any other big fights have been announced. I mean, you kind of don't want to overshadow anything else, but the only way that you could do that is if Francis Ngannou books his MMA return, and if it's on the same card as Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. Yep. Francis Ngannou will take Brazil's Felipe Lins in a 5-round heavyweight clash on the very same card as Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. Huge news. We just found out he left the PFL not too long ago, and very quickly, Jake Paul and MVP Promotions snatched him up and put him underneath that card to just build up some more mystique on there. So that Netflix card coming up, yo. Netflix card coming up. Goddamn. But I was wondering, I was like, the UFC wouldn't put out any other news besides that after they just put out the White House news. So and I looked just to check, and I was like, of course MVP would drop some big ass news on that same weekend. That's so perfect. That is the ultimate perfect thing to do on the weekend that they drop their big news. I mean, if you're trying to compete, that's throwing a left hook to the liver right there. That is well done, Jake Paul and MVP Promotions. I mean, that is, yeah. They said we're here with that one. We're here. What's up? They were waiting for that probably too. That's crazy. But those are all the matchmaking updates I have for you. Wheels Up says, who needs this win more, Lopez or Steve Garcia? Both fighters have been in high leverage spots, but the loser could face oblivion. It's a good fight, but I think clearly has future ramifications. More future ramifications for Steve Garcia. As for Diego Lopez, if he wins, it's kind of just like, all right, I need like 1 or 2 or 3 more just to even get back in the conversation if Volk still has the belt. Okay, he better hope Volk retires and he stacks up like 1 or 2 more wins if he beats Steve Garcia so he can get back in the conversation, because at this point we're going to be like, I'm tired of seeing Diego Lopez in title fights. And it's not that Diego Lopez is a boring fighter, but the guy that we see in the title fights from Diego Lopez isn't the guy that we see in these contender fights at featherweight. So that's the only problem there. But I love me some Diego Lopez. I mean, he's fun on the ground. He's fun on the feet. He's just not fun against Volk. So let's hope Volk doesn't have the belt or retires by then. And if he stacks up a couple wins, if he beats Steve Garcia, we can almost absolutely say we're going to see Diego Lopez in a title shot. They want to see that motherfucker with the title on. And Steve Garcia, if he beats Diego Lopez, well, damn, brother, you just hopped up on the end to the top 2 spot. All right. And you're basically probably just secured yourself a title shot. So if Steve Garcia wins, he probably is going to get a title shot, which is pretty crazy. But yeah. Octopus with No Friends says, yo, Gav, what up, bro? Nico Bellic, my guy. GTA, what was that, 4? Nico Bellic? That had to be 4. Yeah, Nico Bellic, my guy. Daniel Cormier versus Brock Lesnar at the White House. Stop. Daniel, I mean, this is the best chance Cormier has of steamrolling Brock Lesnar. Like when he was smaller and then he was going to fight Brock Lesnar, I would have been like, this is a solid fight. Like he'll probably just lay on top of him. It'll be like a 5-round. He probably won't finish Brock. Now, with all that extra weight on Cormier, he got that dad bod going heavy. He got that anger from the divorce going on. Oh. Cormier finishes Brock Lesnar. Let's go. Let's go. I'm calling that. I'm calling that. You book that fight this year and Cormier finishes Brock Lesnar. I'm calling that. This time he finishes him. He's got to take out some anger now. Oh yeah, he's been saying some wild shit on that preview show. I'm telling you, my boy is going through it. My boy's going through it. Octopus with no friends. My second comment got shadow blocked. What was the second comment? I missed it. I might have missed it. I don't know. But we came here to matchmake, didn't we? That's enough of matchmaking updates. We have about 40 minutes before MK starts. Let's get it going. Let's matchmake for all the fights from UFC 326. Octopus says, I just said I want someone to left hook the lover of UFC brass. Oh, the liver of UFC brass. Hey, man. If this goes well, they might hire me to matchmake. They might be tuning in every week, and they'll be like, "Yo, let's just hire this kid to do this shit, man. let's just get him to do this. He's fucking balls deep in this matchmaking shit already." But here we go. Let's start at the top of the billing, guys. We have Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway. Okay, I mean, strictly speaking, these guys didn't put on a BMF fight. They put on a title fight. That was a title fight I saw. Somebody really wanted that gold, in my opinion. I'm not even going to call it silver. Okay? Platinum? I don't know. But it's probably silver. But that was a title fight. That wasn't a BMF fight. That was I need to secure the belt again. I'm Charles, the Bronx. I wanted to get back to the title fight win. Okay? That wasn't I get Ilya type of win again. That wasn't an I get a number one contender spot type of win. That was I've secured my spot at the top of the division kind of deal. So specifically looking at the rankings here, as you can see, the champ Ilya is taking on Justin Gaethje June 14th at the White House, UFC Freedom 250. So that's off the board. And I don't think he deserves a rematch with even Arman after that performance. Yeah, he put on a great grappling performance. And yeah, he had Arman in that choke, I believe, in their third round of their fight. Yeah, all that. Arman still has secured his number one contender spot. I don't think he has to defend against somebody he literally just beat. I don't think he has to defend against anybody ranked below number 4. I think Arman just deserves to sit in that spot and wait for the winner of Ilya and Justin Gaethje. But for the loser, that's who Charles Oliveira deserves to get. And yes, it will be a rematch for Charles, but that win, if Charles gets it, will secure a title shot for him. Because, again, this would be 2 fights in a row, winning for Charles Oliveira, okay, which he's been alternating wins and losses over the past couple of years. So this would be his first consistency and streak since losing the title. So that would solidify a solid win for me. Just getting one more. He has, what was it? Who did he just fucking beat? Oh, God damn it. God damn it, Charles. You got me blanking on who you beat. You're doing it so fast. You're getting back in the mix after getting knocked the fuck out so fast. You got me confused about who you just beat. It was Arman, then he beat, what was it, like fucking Dariush? Who was it? Well, Gamrot. That's who it was. Gamrot. So he beats Gamrot, right? Then he beats Max. That's 2 in a row. If he beats the loser of Gaethje Ilya and gets 3 in a row, then he deserves his title shot for me. But he's got to take the loser. And as for Max Holloway, I got to see, we haven't seen Max versus a true grappler at lightweight until now. We've been like, yo, Max is a lightweight now. He faces Striker and Dustin Poirier twice. He faces Striker and Gaethje, who is a wrestler but opts to strike mostly. He just recently found out he has wrestling. Okay. And honestly, didn't even use traditional wrestling. He just used headlock takedowns. So, Max Holloway, I got to see you against a grappler, bro. And Gamrot's matched up right now, so I would have said him. That would have been my perfect test, Gamrot, Holloway. But the only grappler that I see on the books that isn't locked up right now in a matchup is Paddy Pimblett for Max Holloway. So I like Paddy Pimblett for Max Holloway as my number one option. My number two option for both guys, Charles Oliveira, BSD, bro. Two guys that are grapplers that are going there, swing leather, try to put you down. If they can't do it, they're going to take you down, try to beat you down on the mat or submit you. They're finishers, both of them. Plenty of finishes on their record. I'd love to see Charles Oliveira and Benoit Saint-Denis. And then that would secure a title shot for Charles Oliveira as well. So, if he beat BSD. And if we can't do Max and Paddy, I know Paddy, I think, has already called for that Max fight. Then Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker, Max Holloway is guaranteed to stay on the feet. Not a takedown will be attempted. Not a takedown will be made. Okay. It'll be a fun banger. It's likely to go 5, but if it doesn't go 5, it's fun as fuck either way. Okay. That's a great second option. Max Holloway, Dan Hooker. I love that matchmaking I just did there. I feel like I ate there. I cooked and I ate right there. Let's go. I like that for both guys. As for the next matchup, Caio Borralho defeats Reinier de Ridder via unanimous decision, 30-27, 30-27, 30-27. This is if you look at the landscape of heavyweight, middleweight. Why the fuck did I just say heavyweight? If you look at the landscape of middleweight, a lot of these guys are booked. A lot of these DDP, I don't think is booked, but that's a little bit high for both of these guys. Let's be honest. Nasruddin, he's got big plans coming up. Sean Strickland just fought, looking upwards, not downwards. Brendan Allen sitting right there in kind of no man's land. Izzy's booked against Pyfer. Fluffy's got to heal them ribs. Maybe Fluffy'd be interested in a fight soon. But for me, Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen is the only name that makes sense for Caio Borralho. He's looking up. Brendan Allen just kind of found himself up there after taking a string of losses to most of those guys at middleweight. I mean, he lost to Fluffy. He lost to, what was it? Cannonier? Who was it? He lost. Sorry, I had to look upwards. He lost to Strickland. Wait, no, it wasn't Strickland. Who the fuck did he fight? Brendan Allen. Who the fuck did Brendan Allen fight? I know he lost to most guys except for Vettori. So he kind of just found himself up there. I'm like, if he didn't beat de Ridder, I feel like he wouldn't be up there. Yeah, he lost to Hernandez. He lost to Imavov. I was right about that. He lost to Chris Curtis. He lost to Sean Strickland. He lost to a lot of these guys at middleweight, Even lost to Eric Anders back in the day, who I think is now light heavyweight. But he's kind of just found himself in the top 5 off one win. So I feel like he's got to defend it against somebody below him. He doesn't just immediately get a top 3 guy. It's got to be Caio, Brendan Allen. I need that. That's a fight we haven't seen yet. That's a 2 young guy fight in the division. It's a real status builder of the division. That's a great fight right there. And as for Reinier de Ridder, I like Anthony Hernandez. I'm not mad at that. Anthony Hernandez gets to test if his pressure can do the same that Caio did to Reinier de Ridder. And then Reinier de Ridder can test that body of Anthony Hernandez. Them knees killed Bo Nickel. Can they kill Anthony Hernandez? Anthony Hernandez just took another body shot to a tough-ass guy, got finished by Sean Strickland. That's, it is what it is. Sean Strickland, one of the toughest guys at middleweight, top 3 perennial in the past few years. So, yeah. And if we're not giving him Anthony Hernandez, wouldn't we love to see a Jared Cannonier and Reinier de Ridder fight? I would. I'd love to see that shit. I mean, I feel like we got to see what we have in Reinier. He is holding down the 8 spot currently. You guys, yeah, you're looking at the rankings. You see him down there at the 8 spot. So, Reinier de Ridder, Jared Cannonier, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. He already fought Robert Whittaker, barely skated past. Let's see if he can get past Cannonier. We'll see where he actually stacks up in the echelons of middleweight. So that's the options I see for those 2 guys. At bantamweight, Raul Rosas Jr. defeats Rob Font via unanimous decision, 30-27 across the board. I need him against a young guy. I need Rosas Jr. against a young guy now. A young guy that can strike now. Okay, and now I know I said I wanted Marlon Chito Vera and Vinicius Oliveira. Scratch that shit. Vinicius Oliveira, Raul Rosas Jr. Do Rob Font and Marlon Vera again. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Fuck it. Just do it again. What happened in their last fight? Rob Font and Cheeto. Was it terrible? I feel like it wasn't terrible. It was a unanimous decision for Rob Font. Yeah, it was a catch weight because Font missed weight. Let Cheeto get that one back. Let Cheeto get that one back. So take Cheeto off the Vinicius Oliveira fight, put him with Rob Font. That's still a banger. They still go head-to-head, toe-to-toe from last week, right? And now we pair Vinicius Oliveira with Raul Rosas Jr. I got to see if Vinicius Oliveira can get back to his feet after Rosas repeatedly takes him down. Rosas Jr., how many takedowns does this motherfucker get, man? I need to see it. Hold up. Actually, first, let's take a look at bantamweight before I do that. Let's take a look at bantamweight. So right now, Vinicius Oliveira is sitting at 12. Rob Font sitting at 13. You got to think that Rob Font will either be getting bounced down to 15 or out completely of the rankings, and Raul Rosas Jr. will hop into that 13 spot. Now, I would love us to see a 12 versus 13 matchup. That's a classic matchup we've seen time and time again. I feel like we just seen one of those like a couple weeks ago. Okay, and if we didn't just see one of those a couple weeks ago, we're about to see one this coming week with Josh Emmett and Kevin Vallejos. You can see right behind the chat there. So that's 11 and 14, basically the same shit. So 12 and 13, I'd love to see that. Vinicius Oliveira and Raul Rosas Jr. once he's ranked this week. But let's quickly look at the performance from Raul Rosas Jr. and why he deserves this spot. I mean, brother, look at it. 16 for 18 on his takedowns. All right, 16 for 18 on his takedown. That's egregious. And then we look at Vinicius. I mean, Rob Font, that takedown defense is not getting better. If you were at 44% before this fight, you're definitely at fucking 38 now, brother. You're in the 30s now. And Vinicius Oliveira, 5 for 7, Mario was on Vinicius. This will give him a chance to test himself against another heavy grappler that'll take him down often, but probably won't have the same type of damage that Mario Bautista has. So a little bit of a lighter test for Vinicius Oliveira and a little bit of a tougher test for Raul Rosas Jr. because that looked far too easy for him. 16 for 18 on fucking takedowns, dude. Excuse me? Brother, we need a little bit higher of a test. Let's give him a younger guy. Vinicius Oliveira is a good next step, in my opinion. You can agree with that. You can disagree. Just know that I'm right, motherfucker. As for the loser of this bout, oh, yeah, I already said it. Yeah. And if we're not doing Marlon Chito Vera, why not Daniel Marcos? I'm not mad at Daniel Marcos, Rob Font. Daniel Marcos is going to come forward. He's probably going to try to grab that neck. It's probably going to look a lot like the Raul Rosas fight, but he's going to go more for the finish, and he can swing hands on the feet a little bit more than Raul Rosas Jr., so it might lead to more of a fight on the feet. So I'm not mad at Daniel Marcos versus Rob Font either. All right, just saying. That's not a bad matchup. But the next bout that we'll talk about is Drew Dober, Michael Johnson. We already matched this bout last week when we said the winner Bobby Green would face the winner of Drew Dober and Michael Johnson. So Bobby Green versus Drew Dober is the next logical bout. And no, they've never wait. I'm tripping. I think they have fought. This is a rematch, right? Wasn't it a rematch either way for Bobby Green? Why do I feel like that? Yes, this is a rematch because Drew Dober knocked out Bobby Green December 17th of 2022 in Las Vegas and got a fight of the night bonus on it. Goddamn, round 2. So this would be a get back fight for Bobby Green, which I'm sure he would welcome a chance to get back on anybody that's knocked him out. I'm sure if you were like Matt Favola, Bobby Green, he'd say yes. You know, if you said Manuel Torres, Bobby Green, he'd say yes. Gene Silva, Bobby Green, he'd say yes. You know what I mean? You said, yes, I want to get that motherfucker back. Now, the submissions, maybe not. He's probably like, whatever, bro. Motherfucker's going to try to take me down and shit. Try to submit me. But those guys that knocked him out, I can almost guarantee you Bobby Green is like, yeah, I want to hand that motherfucker an L. All right. So Bobby Green, Drew Dober is the next logical matchup to make. It just booked itself. And actually, I said his name for a possible matchup for Bobby Green. Michael Johnson, Matt Frevola, man. Michael Johnson's been taking hell of a lot of shots. Not consistently, though. His knockouts have come, every few fights or so. But they're still heavy-ass knockouts when they come. And the same can be said for our boy Matt Frevola, Long Island, stand up. Okay, shout out to Matt Frevola, New Yorker. Michael Johnson versus Matt Frevola kind of makes a lot of sense to me. A lot of sense. Guys that can get back and create a name off of each other because they still have a solid name. Both of them do. Michael Johnson coming off this L probably will need to take some time. Matt Frevola coming off his succession of L's is probably taking some time off. Their timelines might line up. Okay. And Matt Frevola probably wants to add it. I know Matt is a little bit on the older edge of his career. We know Bobby Green is as well. So that fight makes sense in that respect. And also, I'm sure that in this, let's say, twilight of both of their careers, both of them kind of want to add names and have solid opponents that want to go in there and really fight. And both of those guys will do that with each other. So Michael Johnson, Matt Frevola makes sense to me. I'd love to see both of those guys. I'd love to see both of those guys go at it. Let's go. Pause. Greg Rodriguez defeats Brunno. I keep calling him Greg. Gregory Rodriguez defeats Brunno Ferreira via knockout punch, round 1 minute and 47 seconds. If you haven't watched it, you can bet your sweet ass it's going to be on TKO Tuesday, as will the Drew Dober and Michael Johnson KO. But we got to give him a name now. We got to give him a name. We've given this young guy 2 chances to make a name off our boy Greg Rodriguez at this point. I mean, come on. Can we throw the guy a bone? Can we be nice for once in our damn lives? Like, Greg Rodriguez has been fighting. I keep calling him Greg. Gregory Rodriguez has been fighting killers. Just killer after killer after killer. I mean, Jack Hermanson was a killer. Roman Kopylov, Jared Cannonier, Christian Leroy Duncan, Brad Tavares, Chitty Bang, Julian Marquez. These guys were killers when he faced them. It doesn't sound as stupid as I'm sounding right now. Okay. I'm telling you, these guys are killers when he faced them. I mean, you remember what Julian Marquez was doing to people? Do you guys remember? He was destroying everybody. And then Gregory Rodriguez stopped his shit. All right. He was killing Sam Alvey, Maki Patolo, Darren Stewart, Phil Hawes, Matt Hamill. He was taking them all out. All right. And then Gregory Rodriguez said, hold that shit up, my boy. All right, same thing with Chitty Bang. Chitty Bang was putting hands on people. I'm not crazy. All right. Chitty Bang was putting hands on people until he faced Greg Rodriguez. He had 4 straight knockouts. Christian Torres, Marcio Felipe de Souza, Marc-Andre Barrio, and Dusko Todorovic. He had 4 straight knockouts and then ran into Gregory Rodriguez. All right, so Gregory Rodriguez was taking out killers. And then they gave him Brunno Ferreira. He took a little L, had to take a step back, had a couple fights, faced Jared Cannonier, lost. Okay. Then got back on the horse against Jack Hermanson, then beat Roman Kopylov, and now Brunno Ferreira. He's on a 3-fight win streak now. He's doing solid at middleweight. All right. Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker makes sense to me. I don't know. Does it make sense to you? Because it makes sense to me. I feel like that's a solid fight where Robert Whittaker is going to be a little scared in that fight, which will get him up. He'll be like, oh, God, this guy could really take me out. He can hurt me. I just seen him flatline a young guy. You know what I mean? So he's going to get up for that fight. All right. And then Greg Rodriguez lost to Jared Cannonier, but for a chance for him to leapfrog him and get the guy above him, Robert Whittaker. Okay. Because he just defended his number 13 spot against number 15. He's got to look up. Paulo Costa booked. Romando Lidze, I believe, is booked. Jared Cannonier doesn't have a dance partner just yet, but he's already beaten him. So I'm sure he doesn't want that fight again. And he finished him. So Robert Whittaker makes the most sense in here at middleweight. I mean, chat me if I'm wrong. Chat me if I'm wrong. At this point, let me take a look at the chat because chat's probably calling me crazy. Chat's probably like, this motherfucker don't know what he's talking about. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Let's see. Man, do you follow social media? The Terrence Crawford is bullying untrained fighters and civilians all the time. He needs to be humbled by an MMA fighter. He should face Joaquin Buckley in real life. Nico, no. No, he doesn't want that smoke, man. He doesn't want that smoke. Joaquin Buckley. What do you remember Joaquin Buckley's highlight KO over what was his name? He's in the PFL. He's doing fantastic. He actually just got knocked out though. I can't remember his name. Damn. This is so bad. I can't remember his name. It's like I'll get it. I'll get it. What the fuck is it? How long ago did he knock? Oh, Impa Kasanganai. Damn, he knocked him out that long ago, 2020. Holy shit. Yeah, Impa Kasanganai. So, no, I don't want that fight for Terrence Crawford. Give him his first fight in MMA, Joaquin Buckley, arguably a top 5 welterweight. What is he ranked? He's top 8 right now, but he could arguably be a top 5 welterweight. Yeah. Nah, that's a terrible fight. And he's bigger than him naturally. Nah, that's a terrible fight for Terrence Crawford. Please no. I like Terrence Crawford. Don't do that. Cosmo Kramer says, I don't remember the last time I heard the name Philippe Lins, right? And that's who Ngannou's fighting? Hunter Campbell. We need this Gaffney Pierre fella. He's our only hope. I co-sign. Not Hunter's worst idea, right? I'd save matchmaking. Brother, get me. I'm right on this shit, dude. That Netflix card is legit, not a gimmick like I thought. I have to give it credit. It's getting better and better every day. I give it credit. It's getting better and better every day. BSD is literally an embodiment of BMF. Yes, but I don't want a BMF title anymore, Nico. I'm done with it. I'm cool with it. Like, I don't think it needs to. And if we do bring it back, it needs to be a fight truly worthy of that BMF title. I almost said a fight out loud, but I'm not going to say it. Brendan Allen is fighting DDP. He is fighting DDP? Damn, Nico. That must have just been booked. That must have just been Raul Rosas Jr. versus Topuria's brother. No. No, Topuria's brother ain't ready for that. He ain't ready for those problems. I feel like he's still slowly growing. He looks a lot better than he is, but bro, he was 16 for 18 on Rob Font. See, I know Rob Font's takedown defense isn't that great, but he's still a very solid fighter. 16 for 18 is crazy though. I would have thought like 7 for 13, 7 for 12, 16 for 18. Damn. All right, if we can't do Brendan Allen for Caio Borralho, then give him Strickland, bro. Give him Strickland. Imavov's fighting for a belt. Chimaev has it. If it's not against Strickland, then I guess Imavov, Borralho, but we just seen that. So that wouldn't make sense. So that, Borralho's in kind of no man's land if that's the case. Everybody else is booked or he's waiting for Hernandez or somebody like that. Somebody that just fought. Otherwise, he's kind of just stuck at the moment. He's got to wait for matchups to play out, which is not a bad spot to be in because you could accidentally find yourself in a title fight or a number 1 contender fight. So, yeah. He's so good at hugging. His mom and dad been training him since he was a baby. Hugs all day, every day. Cuddles at night. Stop, Octopus. DDP versus Allen. I'm here for it with popcorn popped, baby, says Wheels Up. Yeah, that is a fun one. And but Kasanga, I thank you, Me Rocket. Philip Lins would obliterate Francis. Me Rocket is absolutely joking there. Did you see Zuffa boxing? Yes, I did. I'm glad I said 1 through 6 or decision because I knew after that 1 through 6, I was like, oh, yeah, this is going to be a decision. Topuria defeats Rosas Jr., bro. I'm not so sure anymore, man. You got to think about how these young guys make leaps and bounds and how young Raul Rosas Jr. is. Yes, Topuria could probably put some hands on him or submit him. But we also seen Topuria go through some adversity with some guys that are no way near the level of Raul Rosas Jr. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. Me rocking for permanent MK co-host. Let's go. We got 27 minutes and we got the rest of this card to go through. So, sorry, 17 minutes. So let's get through the rest of this. Let's talk about my boy Cody Garbrandt. He defeats Xiao Long via unanimous decision, 28-27 across the board. Some weird, nut stomps going in there, some collisions, some animated actions. It was just a weird fight to watch, but I'm glad Cody got the win. Shout out to my boy, No Love. All right. There's only two guys I see for either of these fighters. And it's surprising because you're like, how the fuck do you only see two guys for these bantamweights that kind of showed us almost nothing, both of them? Like, what do you mean? But I don't think either the guy deserves to go up and fight somebody in a favorable matchup. I think they should get a tougher matchup and give a guy a chance at some point, if that makes sense. I think for Cody Garbrandt, we got to do Chris Gutierrez. Chris Gutierrez, Cody Garbrandt. That's going to be on the feet, almost certainly. If it does end up on the mat, Chris Gutierrez is going to try to sub him. He probably won't be able to, and Cody's going to get back to his feet, try to land heavy hands on him, try to dance in style on him. Chris Gutierrez is going to spam those calf kicks. He's going to jab at him. It's going to be a fun fight on the feet. It's going to be a chess match. Kickboxing versus boxing. Cody's probably going to throw some flashy shit at some point, some flashy kick out of nowhere. And then we know Cody's kryptonite is head kicks. We've seen Chris Gutierrez land some nice head kicks. It gives him a chance. And we've seen Chris Gutierrez struggle with some boxing. And if he gets some wrestling pushed his direction, Cody Garbrandt, a fantastic wrestler. So I feel like that's a good matchup. Cody Garbrandt, Chris Gutierrez. And for Xiao Long, my boy Reinier Nakamura needs an opponent. Nakamura. All right. Shout out to my boy Reinier Nakamura. I think he needs an opponent. Xiao Long, Reinier Nakamura, throw them on the Macau card. Throw them motherfuckers on that Macau card. I hear that shit coming up. Reinier Nakamura, Xiao Long, Macau card. I need that. I need that. Please. Xiao Long is pretty fun. He's willing to throw them hands. All right. And Reinier Nakamura, he got that. He got that dynamite in his back pocket. So that's what I need. Macau, book it. Book that shit for Macau. I really doubt Rosas beats Alexandre Topuria. Me Rocket, I can't trust you because of what you say all the time. I don't know if you're speaking the truth or in lies. I can't tell at this point. All right. I have no idea. Next fight. Dante Johnson defeats Cody Brundage via split decision, 29-28, 28-29, 29-28. Dante Johnson, Ryan Gandrew. Ryan Gandrew just knocked out somebody last weekend, pretty early in round one. We got to see what he has. He's got to face somebody younger, somebody that could also grapple a little bit, maybe take you down. That's Dante Johnson. Dante Johnson needs to fight somebody that'll swing them freaking hands. And I want to see where his chin holds up, how his power holds up against somebody that'll swing right back. That's a good fight. Ryan Gandrew, Dante Johnson. They just fought. They're on the same timeline, back-to-back weekends. Let's get it. And as for Cody Brundage, I was thinking let's do the ultimate Cody Brundage position, like Cody Brundage at Andre Petrosky to see who's more Cody Brundage. Like how you see like an actor has a kid and then you're like, oh my God, they look more like themselves. Their kid looks more like them than they do. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Andre Petrosky looks more like he fights and his style is more like Cody Brundage than even Cody Brundage is. He's like a better Cody Brundage right now. So I would have said that, but that's not the fight I want. I want to give Cody Brundage a chance, and I want to give this guy a chance too, who just took a tough L. So I'd say Cody Brundage against Ryan Loder. All right, two wrestlers. Let them go at it. Cody Brundage against somebody that's strictly going to try to grapple him, gives Cody Brundage a chance to look good on the feet and come out with a win. Ryan Loder gets a chance to face a veteran that's fought a lot of the good guys in the sport that will throw hands at him and give him a little lighter of a test than he had last time out. Cody Brundage, Ryan Loder. I like that. I like that fight. It makes a lot of sense for me. Alberto Montez defeats Ricky Turcios via submission. Rear naked, Darce choke. Round 2, 40 seconds. Cool. Didn't see this happening like this. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Hey, let me take this opportunity to show you guys where these guys hang out in the rankings. All right, I use this site a lot when trying to check out some rankings. Fightmatrix.com. I'm gonna scroll down here. I believe they're what? Who the fuck were we talking about? Oh, Alberto Montes and Ricky Tercios. So they're featherweights, but Ricky Tercios isn't going to be ranked at featherweight. I'm sure Alberto Montes will be. Okay, Kevin Vallejos down there. Let's see. Cub Swanson. Montes got to be around here somewhere. Cub Swanson's around here. Right? Maybe I'm wrong. I guess not. Cub Swanson ranked pretty damn high at featherweight. What the fuck? God damn. He's still hanging around up there? Holy. Jordan Leavitt's now up here. Look at that. They got him in the freaking rankings. Look at all this. Look at, bro. He's gonna be below Asel Ajuj. Stop. Really? He's got to be around here. He's got to be around here. There's no way he's below Yadier Del Valle. No. I must have missed Montes. There's no fucking way. He's below these guys. I'm going to check one more page. One last page before I go back. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way he's below Dawoodu. Nah. This can't be right. Yeah, no. He's definitely farther back. But anyways, Alberto Montes. I like him against Austin Bashi or Jack Jenkins. I kind of like either of those fights. I don't know. Kind of makes sense to me. I feel like Jack Jenkins, he's a dance partner. He hasn't had a fight in quite some time. Austin Bashi, coming off the Contender Series, had a solid fight. I don't think he came out on the best end of that fight. So I feel like he would be a solid matchup as well. I feel like, yeah, either of those guys would be pretty good. Is it not at featherweight? Am I tripping? No, yeah, because Ricky Tercios went up from bantamweight to featherweight for this fight. Unless I ran right past it. Pico, Cater, Suzuki. These guys must have all been really far back because they are not top 25 guys. Absolutely not top 25 guys. I'm not even going to entertain looking above Kevin Vallejos. That would be crazy. I'd be like, all right, this site is, you guys shouldn't follow the site. It's terrible. But no, they're pretty good about rankings, I'm going to be honest. And they show you the guys' next fights too. So it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty solid. But I guess these guys are ranked really low at featherweight. I mean, they were pretty low on the card, but I didn't think they were that low in the grand scheme of things. My Lord. We're down here with freaking Daniel Oliveira. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Jack Jenkins. I guess they are ranked really fucking low. Holy fuck. Yeah, Austin Bashi. Yep. These guys are ranked real low here. Real low. So the next page has to be my boy, Alberto Montes. Literally has to be Montes. He's got to be here. Mangoes. Almost got me. I thought it was Montes. It was Mangoes. Unless that was him. No, George Mangoes. Who the fuck is George Mangoes? Who the fuck is George Mangoes, actually? It doesn't matter. Anyways, we saw where they were ranked. They're pretty near each other. Austin Bashi, Jack Jenkins. And as for Ricky Tercios, we still got to figure out where he stands at featherweight. So for him, I like this guy off Contender Series who I believe he just had a win off Contender Series. His name is Damian Ramirez. Damian Ramirez from Contender Series. I want to see his first fight at featherweight be Ricky Tercios. All right. The next fight was Niram Jargal Tumen Dembarel. Yeah, he beat Cody Durden, unanimous decision. 30-27, 30-27, 29-28. Alibi Idris just fought against, I think it was Ode Osborne last week. We're going to do a little tourney style flipperoo. That's what we're going to do here. So we're going to do Idris won against Osborne and Tumen Dembarel won against Durden. So we're going to do Alibi Idris versus Niram Jargal Tumen Dembarel. So pop. And then Cody Durden lost to Tumen Dembarel and Osborne lost to Idris. Papa. Osborne and Cody Durden. I feel like that's a solid chance for Osborne to get a matchup against somebody that he could put some hands on and, get a solid win against, who's somebody that's still going to try to take him down and keep him down, hold him down. So nothing new here. And then for Cody Durden, gives him a chance to get back in the mix and take somebody out that hasn't had the best stint lately, just like he has. They're kind of on a similar trajectory. I feel like those guys should get on a crash course for each other, Cody Durden and Ode Osborne. And I don't think they fought either. Let me check. I don't think they fought either. I got 5 minutes left. Don't worry. We'll go quick through the last couple of fights. Cody Durds. Cody Durdo. Yep. They have not fought. He fought Chris Gutierrez in the past. What the fuck? To a draw? What the fuck? But anyways, yeah, that's a great fight. Ode Osborne, Cody Durden, flyweight. Book it. Let's move on. 3 fights left. Suma Derji, Jesus Aguilar, 30-27s across the board from Maderji. Maderji, Imanol. Imanol just put some hands on that man, Alejandro, or whoever it was. Imanol Rodriguez, Suma Derji. Maderji has finally passed the grappler's test. He's failed 6 times, but this time he passed against Jesus Aguilar. So he can finally move on to the next step and face somebody that's going to put some hands on him as well, and Imanol Rodriguez. Okay. And for Jesus Aguilar, he's finally faced somebody that will put some hands on him and pass the test of not getting knocked out. So now I got to see him on the ground with somebody that could also submit him. All right. I want to see him fight fire with fire. Ray Saruya and Jesus Aguilar. Okay. I need that. Dior Nurzagai defeats Rafael Tobias via unanimous decision 30-27, 29-28, 29-28. Julius Walker or Ivan Ursulan. That's what I need for Nurzagai. Julius Walker, who just took a vicious L. Okay, let him get back on the horse against somebody who has been taking L's on the ground, but will oblige on the feet. Julius Walker, heavy hands on the feet, but will take you down as well. We've seen him pull that out of his back pocket. Yeah, I like that fight. And Ivan Ursulan, why not? Ivan Ursulan, not to be confused with Ibo Aslan, but Ibo Aslan could fight Rafael Tobias. I wouldn't mind that. Ibo Aslan, Rafael Tobias, or if not that, like a George Tuckus, something like that. But this is basically a punishment fight for Tobias. Like, what was that, brother? What was that? What was that performance? You came into this fight 5 finishes in 6 fights. You came in looking like a killer. And then we got a fucking polar bear in the pictures. And then when it comes in the box, it's a stuffed fucking Coca-Cola fucking polar bear. I'm like, what the fuck was this? This is not what we ordered. This was some fucking Temu shit right here. What was this? This was some, what was the site? The fucking site? Not Temu, the other one that everybody always used to call it. Whatever, bro. It was the fake site. I was like, what was this? This wasn't the killer that I ordered. So you're getting George Takis or Ibo Aslan, bro. That's what you get. What the fuck was that? Honestly and truly. And last but not least, before I get back to the chat, Rodolfo Bellato defeats Luke Fernandez via TKO strikes round 1, 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Rodolfo Bellato, you have earned yourself a name with that performance. You have defended twice. Okay. Luke Fernandez, you got that young guy from Contender Series up on out of there. And early, too. You took his best strikes. We got to give you a name, but we got to give you somebody fun. We got to give you Jimmy Crute. I need a Jimmy Crute, Rodolfo Bellato matchup stat. I need that stat. You know the comedy and theatrics we would get in that. Sorry, did I say Vieira? Bellato. Rodolfo Bellato. But do you know the comedy that we'd have in a Rodolfo Bellato and Jimmy Crute bout? Do you know the comedy that would appear from that? And I only bring this up because we've already had the comedy. We've had the draw. It was a majority draw. And it was crazy theatrics going on this fight. This is a fight I need to see again. This is a fight I need to see again. Give me Jimmy Crute and Rodolfo Bellato. We need to figure this one out. All right, and they're not strangers to doing this before. They've had draws that they came back and made and redid the bout, and they weren't big bouts either. So I'd love to see that bout happen again. Jimmy Crute, Adolfo Bellato. Okay. Because you don't deserve too big of a reward. You kind of took out a guy that they were kind of liking from Contender Series. That was kind of a dickhead move on your part. And for Luke Fernandez, well, we can either do the easy route and have him fight Tobias, because Tobias just lost. And if we're not doing the George Tuckis or Ibo Aslan fight, we could just make those two fight each other or some shit. But if we're not doing that, what about Levi Rodriguez from Contender Series? What about a defend your spot fight from Contender Series? Levi Rodriguez from Contender Series. And that's it. That's all the matchmaking I got for UFC 326. I hope the matchmakers steal all of it. And then we see all those bouts come to fruition. Okay. I appreciate everybody that tuned in before MK, checking out the content, appreciating the matchmaking chops I'm putting out. All right. The man is willing to crack nuts. You know what I mean? Remember when Garbrandt moved down to flyweight and his chin became extra made of iron? Yeah. Yep. I remember that. He looked pretty. Yeah, no, let's keep him bantamweight. I like him at bantamweight. Alexandre's daily routine is to spar with Ilya Topuria, bro. Raul Rosas Jr. is nothing for him. Yeah, on the feet. How many times has Ilya just taken him down over and over and over again like he's prime fucking Khabib? Did you not see 16 for 18? I know it's Rob Font, but 16 for 18 just shows a hell of a gas tank. 18 takedowns in a 3-round fight. That's 6 a round. That's more than one every minute. That's a lot, dude. You can't get your striking underway if you're constantly defending takedowns against the fence out in front, trying to get back to your feet, wasting energy doing that. By the time you get back to the feet, you just start to get something going, and he's in on your fucking hips again. 18 fucking takedown attempts? Bro. We all prayed for CG to win, but I mean, did we want him to win like this? Laugh out loud. MMA gods work in mysterious ways. They always do, dude. Octopus, they always do. Sometimes great, sometimes mysterious and fucking nefarious even. Like Long Island Luke said, Brundage is Brian Scalabrine of the UFC. I love that. Octopus, I wanted Cody to win in any way possible. Damian Penis. I thought about putting Penis up against one of these guys. I did. Pause. I pause. Yo, what up, Dunks in the chat? It was Timu. Thank you. Timu. That's what I meant, Nikki V. Timu. Alibaba, too. Yeah, that's another one. I love Jimmy Creases B Rocket. And then Nikki, you don't deserve the top ranking. And then Nikki also says, I know, story of my life. But thank you guys. Appreciate you checking out Matchmaker Monday. Go check out MK. Go enjoy the rest of your Monday. Go enjoy the rest of the week. I'll be back tomorrow with TKO Tuesday with a bunch of TKOs from all those cards that happened over the weekend for you guys. Appreciate everybody that pulled up to the chat. All my day ones, my A ones, all that. Again, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we're trying to get to 800. Let me take the comments off the screen there so you can scan that. We're trying to get to 800, so please scan that QR code right there. Subscribe to the channel. We had a sub goal of 775 today, so hopefully we can hit that by the end of the day. Okay. Also, don't forget to follow on social. That's where we put out the parlays. That's where we put out social graphics, cut downs, all that other stuff. One more round fights, except for X, where it's one more round F8, and that's where we live tweet for MMA fights, mainly PFL, UFC, all that kind of stuff. Don't forget, scan the QR code, follow Main Card Minute. You'll catch Luke on there. He'll be on Morning Combat right now. Also, you catch me putting belt to ass on the Main Card Minute on Prop Quiz over there. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your week, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm out of here. Deuces. I live life how I wanna.
life in these streets, licking smoke out the window. I'm on a trip. Maybe I'm a gunner, cause I live in a manana. Hot box like a sauna.